All right, I wanted to show you all my favorite meal to eat while I'm detoxing. So I have a small sweet potato. I have some fresh kale that's been washed. Sweet potato has been washed too. And I have a few shiitake mushrooms. This is a new ad, and I have learned that you really need to chop up this stem. So I'm just going to chop up all my vegetables. Now, when I cut the sweet potato, we are going to steam them. And so I'm going to cut it fairly thin, about the width of my finger, because I want it to steam about the same time as my kale. So everything is done at one time. And if you cut it too thick, then they're not going to steam within the same time frame. And you don't want to overcook your vegetables. Just lightly steam till they're fork tender, and that's it. So as you can see, about the width of my finger there, and I kind of came across this just as trial and error. I've tried collard greens, I've tried bok choy, I've tried Swiss chard, but I find this is the combination that I like the most. I do keep the skin on the potato because there's a lot of nutrients in your potato skin. And I just recently learned there's a lot of nutrients in the skin on kiwi because I was taking off the skin on the kiwi. So the way I do my kale is the stems I do use, but I don't use for this particular thing. I'll chop up the stems later and put them in a salad. And I'll show you all a salad that I've done. And the salad usually has like lentils or chickpeas and carrots. I'll just do a salad like that. So I'll just break this on off. And as you can see, it comes off pretty easily. Sometimes I'd like to do the ribs of it. And then when I do break it, I try to break it into bite-sized pieces because you don't want to go put your fork in it and you got to leave this big. So, just break it up with your hands. Nothing. Doesn't have to be precise, But I do lightly steam them because when you are detoxing, your body is working very hard to, clean out your system and this, that, and the other. And so raw vegetables can be a little more difficult to digest than when you kind of start the process by lightly steaming your vegetables. So, yeah, it's just a little bit more gentler on your digestive system, and yeah, it works out that way. So I have all my greens, and I'm just going to chop my, hope y'all can see this, chop my shiitake mushroom. So I'm just going to pull this stem out, chop that up separately, and just, slice. Nothing too thick or too big. Just slice right on across. So about that thickness. And I could literally eat this every day. And it's very quick. It's full of a lot of nutrition. So I've learned with the shiitake mushroom to slice it. Slice this little piece off. But the first time I did it, I sliced it long ways. And nope, don't do that. Make little circles. They're a lot easier to chew. And all right, so now that we have this chopped up, ready to go, we are going to stick it in our steamer. You can see in my pot that I have my little steamer thing. I don't know what you want to call it, but I have a little bit of water in there. And so this thing just opens up like a flower, and I'm going to put my vegetables in. Start off with my potatoes, and I'm just going to put them in a nice layer. So if some pieces are a little thicker than others, those are the ones that you want to put down first. And in the middle, and the thinner ones I would put along the sides so that you make sure that they do steam up nicely. All right, and then you just kind of slide the little smaller pieces around the side. So now I'm going to put in my kale. Just stick it right on top. And then I will just dump my shiitake mushrooms on top. All right, so that's that. That's it. Didn't take any time. I cover it up and I put on the flame, get that going, and in a few minutes, it should be ready. All right, I believe it's been roughly like 10 minutes. And my food is done. So you want to check your potato. Your potato should be fork tender, so it just slides right off the fork. So I'm going to turn this fire off. And it's ready to plate up. So we have, I have my potatoes. I'm going to get a few sweet potatoes along with some greens. So I got my greens and I got my shiitake mushroom. And this is going to be supposed to be my lunch, but it's kind of late now. It's about, shoot, it's almost 5 o'clock. So this is going to be my dinner. The one thing I can say is that when you eat like this, your food holds you. All right, you know, sometimes you can eat a bagel or a donut for breakfast and then you're hungry like an hour later. When you're eating cleanly and you're eating nutrient-dense foods, they hold you. You're not hungry throughout the day. So people will say, you know, depending on the type of detoxing you're doing, I'm not the type of person that doesn't want to eat. Okay, I don't like to be starving. I don't want to be detoxing and I'm fasting or, you know, what's the word? Trying to eat some parsley or something, you know, like, you know, give me some real food. Because the detox that I'm doing, it's whole foods. If I want some protein, you know, if I'm tired of my beans and my lentils and things of that sort, I can do a little bit of wild caught fish or what's the other thing? Or some free range organic chicken or something like that. And so I put just a little bit of butter on there. And then my butter is, you know, the good stuff. So you know, you don't have to be organic and all the way, but, you know, try as much as you can. If you just kind of just say, hey, I'm just going to be eating a whole lot much more vegetables and greens, then that works for you too. So I have to sprinkle on a little bit of sea salt. And this is Celtic sea salt. Has vital minerals and things of that sort. So this was highly recommended. And this little bit of salt goes a long way. So you don't need much. I actually might have put a little too much on what I have right here. But we're going to go with it because it's on there now. And that's it. This is going to be my dinner. All right. Doesn't it look delicious and very filling? And like I said, everything is fork tender, and just eat the peel as well as the, you know, the flesh. And you can go to town. Like I said, I can eat this all day. And this is a great combination. I love this combination. Love it. So if you try it, whether you're detoxing or not, or you just want to have what they call like veggie Mondays or no meat Tuesdays, whatever it's called, try this out. It's very quick. It does not take long. Like I said, everything steams up within 10 minutes, and it's very filling. All right, so you can drop me a comment below if you try it. If you want some other dishes that I make while I'm detoxing, let me know. I'll be happy to share. And so thanks again for supporting me and checking me out, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.